Have you ever had a moment that feels normal at first, but the more you think about it, the more it starts feeling like a warning? This happened 2 months ago, and honestly, I still don't know what to do with the memory. So I moved into this new apartment, quiet, simple, nothing fancy. I didn't know most of my neighbors, except for one woman, Miss Ada. Now, she wasn't weird, at least not at first. She was that friendly neighbor who always smiled too quickly, laughed too loudly, and remembered details I swear I never told her. But I brushed it off, people are different, no big deal, until one Saturday morning. I stepped out to take the trash and she was already standing there, waiting. Like she'd been listening from my door, she gave me this smile, tight, almost forced, and said, "Did you sleep well last night?" Normal question, right? But here's the issue. I never told her my sleep schedule. I never told her my room was near the window. And I definitely never told her I kept the window open when it gets too hot. Yet somehow, she asked it like she knew something. I laughed it off and said, "Yes, why?" And she just shrugged and said, "I thought I heard you having a long night." I froze. A long night? Doing what? I didn't even make noise. That was the first moment I felt that tiny pinch of discomfort. You know the kind, nothing big, but your instincts go, this doesn't feel right. A few days later, weird things started happening. Every time I left my apartment, Miss Ada found a way to appear, not from her door, not from the hallway, from behind me, like she knew the exact second I stepped out. She'd say things like, "You're dressing differently these days," or "You stayed up late again." And I'd smile, but inside I was thinking, how does she know these things? I told myself it was coincidence, that maybe the walls were thin, but then came the night everything changed. I came home late from work, tired, frustrated, ready to just collapse. I unlocked my door and something slid on the floor, a small folded piece of paper. At first I thought maybe it was a bill or some notice, but the handwriting was different, personal. I opened it. It said, "Stop leaving your window open. Someone is watching you. I swear my legs went cold." I looked around the hallway, dead quiet, every door closed, lights flickering like a horror movie. I didn't know whether to run, shout, or pretend I didn't see anything. I rushed inside and locked every lock on the door. My mind was racing. Who left the note? How long had someone been watching me? Was it Ada? Was she warning me or threatening me? That entire night I couldn't sleep. Every sound felt like footsteps. Every shadow felt like someone moving. Next morning, I tried to act normal, went outside to get some fresh air, and then Miss Ada appeared again. No smile this time, no small talk. She stood there, hands folded, face serious. She said, "You saw the note, didn't you?" My heart dropped. I asked, "Did you leave it?" She shook her head slowly. Then she stepped closer and asked the question that still haunts me. "What did he do to you last night?" You looked terrified through the window. I froze because I had curtains, thick ones. You can't see through them, not even during the day. I asked, "How did you see me?" She blinked, confused, like I was the strange one. Then she said, "I wasn't looking through your window." I asked, "Then whose?" She pointed at the apartment directly opposite mine, an apartment I thought was empty. She said, "The man living there watches everyone, especially you." My stomach twisted. That apartment had been dark, locked, untouched since I moved in, or that's what I thought. Finally, built the courage to report it. Security came, management came. We went to check the empty apartment. And guess what? There was no one there, no furniture, no dishes, no clothing. But in the living room, there was something chair facing the window, and on the floor under the chair, a small pile of sunflower seeds, the same seeds I always saw Miss Ada eating. I didn't understand. I looked at her. Her face had gone pale. She whispered, "I don't remember coming in here." Management pulled her aside. Security started asking questions. Her voice kept shaking like she didn't even recognize her own behavior. They asked if she had a spare key. She said no. They asked if she had ever entered before. She said she thinks so, but isn't sure. Later that week, her family came. They moved her out quietly. They apologized. They said she had been struggling mentally for a while, and that note, the handwriting matched hers. She said she wasn't watching me, she wasn't warning me, she wasn't protecting me, she was watching herself. From a mind that had split into versions she couldn't control, she had been entering the empty apartment at night. Sitting in the dark, watching people, watching me, and forgetting she ever did it. Not a stalker, not a stranger, my neighbor, who didn't even realize she was the threat. Since that day, I keep my window closed, I double-check my door, and I listen to my instincts the first time they whisper that something is off. Because sometimes the danger you fear isn't outside your door. Sometimes it lives right next to you, and it doesn't even know what it's doing.